Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 13th. Today we are going to begin with DGP Week 8. Then we're going to go into Wordly Wise Lesson 5E. We will read the text, and then we are going to answer the constructed response questions. And then lastly, if there is time, you are going to continue your discussion board posting from yesterday. We're going to make some corrections and changes. And then if time still allows, we will do some possibly Quizlet. You will have a vocabulary test tomorrow on your week or your lesson 8 words. Okay. You will have a vocabulary test tomorrow on your lesson 8 words. Make sure that you study. Make sure you have your quad cards. If you are virtual, face-to-face, or absent, you need to go ahead and log into Schoology and click on the course that you are in. If you're face-to-face, you need to go ahead and get out your packet and have it opened to DGP Week 8. For those of you that are virtual, we are going to need to click on Monday, January the 11th first so that we can access our DGP Week 8. Open assignment with Cami. All right, and we already have Monday and Tuesday complete. I want to address something that we did yesterday. I told y'all that if the word before I actually told y'all if your prepositional phrase begins with a noun, your prep phrase will always be an adjective phrase. Now, fourth period pointed out to me that a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition. Okay, a preposition is a part of speech. So I'm not exactly sure why I did not catch that when I was typing it, but that was a mistake. Okay, so your paragraph should read, if the word before your prep phrase begins with a noun, your prep phrase will, and it's not always going to be an adjective phrase. Okay, I'm going to put sometimes, or no, I'm going to put most often. Most often will be an adjective phrase unless a sentence is giving a command. Okay, so I want you to go back and edit that. I don't want to confuse y'all, but I want to make sure that we have it right. Okay, if the word before your prepositional phrase, so here that would be letter, okay, if the word before your prep phrase begins with a noun, your prep phrase will most often be an adjective phrase unless the sentence is giving a command. All right. This sentence gives a command. Therefore, it tells us where to put the envelope. It is an adverbial prepositional phrase. Okay. If the word before your prepositional phrase begins with anything other than a noun, your prep phrase will be adverbial, or most often be adverbial. Okay. I wanted to clear the air on that. Now, Wednesday, what is the first thing you should do for Wednesday's sentence, Trey? Put brackets around the sentence. Very good. And to put brackets using your computer, you are going to look at the P key and just hit the button right next to it. Okay, for those of you that are sitting face to face, that is how you draw the bracket. Braylee? All right. Now, does this sentence have a subject?
No.
Yes. What is the subject of this sentence? You, but it's understood. It is an understood implied you. Okay? Does this sentence have a verb? Does this sentence express a complete thought? Yes. Okay? The subject is you, the verb is put, and it explains a complete thought, or it expresses a complete thought. Okay? Now, how do we have more than one subject or more than one verb?
More than one subject.
What's the other subject?
You and letter.
Who said letter is a subject? Letter's not a subject. Letter's part of your predicate. Now, do we have more than one subject and more than one predicate? No, we have one subject, one predicate. One subject and one predicate gives us what type of sentence?
Independent clause.
Okay, that it does give us an independent clause, but what type? One subject, a simple sentence. Good, okay? Because we have one simple sentence, all right, it's an independent clause. Independent clause, simple sentence. Now, is this sentence, what is the purpose of this sentence? Is it to make a statement, make a command, ask a question? Make a command. So what do we call a sentence that makes a command? Declarative makes a statement. Imperative. What is the abbreviation for imperative?
Oh, I got it.
All right. Now, do you have to do anything else for Wednesday's sentence? Do you have to do anything else for Wednesday's sentence? No. We are done. Okay. It's independent clause. It has a subject, it has a verb, it expresses a complete thought, and it can stand alone. We only have one independent clause. Therefore, it is a simple sentence. If we were to have two independent clauses combined with a comma and a coordinating conjunction, what type of sentence would you have? If you were to have two independent clauses combined with a comma and a coordinating conjunction, it's a compound sentence. Good job, Grant. If you had, I heard you say complex.
No, I said that. He said
okay.
Compound.
All right, I'm sorry. Good job, Elijah. All right, a compound sentence. A complex sentence is an independent clause combined with what type of clause? A dependent.
Oh.
All right, if you have finished this.
Hunter Bryant to Miss Lassiter's class immediately. Hunter Bryant to Miss Lassiter's class immediately.
If you are virtual, make sure that you save now, and then you can exit out. If you are face-to-face, you are going, or actually, let me go back to, if you're virtual, you're going to go back to Module 7, and then you are going to click on Thursday, January the 4th. Nope, I'm wrong again. You're going to click on Wednesday, January the 13th, and you're going to click on Wordly Wise Lesson 8E. If you are face-to-face in your packet, it should be in order. You need to open up Wordly Wise Lesson 8E. All right, Elijah, get back in that desk. All right, we're going to read this paragraph together, and then we're going to go over these questions together just to make sure that you are answering them correctly by restating the question in your answer. Okay? Sacagawea's Great Adventure. Imagine being snatched from your family and friends as a young teenager and taken far from home to be sold into slavery. That was the fate of Sacagawea, a Shoshone chief's daughter. The Shoshone people occupied what is now central Idaho on the western slopes of the Rocky Mountains. Sacagawea was taken captive in 1799 during a skirmish with a Hidatsa raiding party. She was then carried off to their village on the banks of the Missouri River, 700 miles to the east, in what is now North Dakota. It must have been a terrifying experience for the young girl, but because of her kidnapping and the events that followed it, she became part of the United States history. This is her story. After she had been kidnapped, Sacagawea was sold to a French-Canadian named Charbonneau, who lived in the Hadasta village. She became his wife when she was only 15 years old. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition arrived at the village. Its purpose was to explore routes to the Pacific coast and report back to the United States government. Having set out from St. Louis 6 months earlier, its leaders decided that the Hadasta village would be a convenient place to spend the winter. Because they knew they would be passing through Shoshone territory, they hired Charbonneau. He spoke the Shoshone language and could interpret for them. They decided that even though she had just had a baby, Sacagawea should also accompany them. Her presence with the baby would demonstrate the Shoshone that the expedition's intentions were peaceful. In 1805, the party set out, traveling in canoes up the Mississippi River. Sacagawea, her baby strapped to her back, proved to be an invaluable member of the team. She collected roots and berries to supplement the food stocks. She was also able to add to the medical supplies, for she knew which plants had a beneficial effect when someone fell ill. One day, Charbonneau's inept handling of the canoe overturned it, and some important records would have been lost had Sacagawea not retrieved them. Because of such acts, Sacagawea earned the respect of Lewis and Clark. When they finally reached Shoshone country, Sacagawea had an ecstatic reunion with her brother, who was now a Shoshone chief. However, there was little time for her to linger among her own people. The expedition had to reach the Pacific before winter made travel possible. In mid-November, the expedition reached the west coast. There, Sacagawea gazed for the first time at the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, of which she had heard stories since childhood. In March of 1806, the expedition began the return journey and reached the Hadasta village in mid-August. Sacagawea remained there with her husband and child while the rest of the party continued east. Her great adventure was over. She had done things that must have been beyond her wildest dreams only 2 years before. She had been reunited with her brother, whom she had never expected to see again, and she had seen the great water. Although she had no way of knowing this, she also had earned for herself an honored place in history. Now, I feel quite sure that several of you have heard of Sacagawea prior to today. Okay, she is someone that we have heard about all our lives while doing history. All right, now let's read the directions here real quick. Answer each of the following questions with a sentence. If a question does not contain a vocabulary word from the lesson's word list, use one in your answer. Use each word only once. Okay, I'm going to add to these directions. I want you to restate the question in your answer as well. Okay, restate the question in your answer. Now, the other thing I want you to do before we get started is I want you to go back to the top of this paragraph, and we are going to number our paragraphs. Okay, so this right here, imagine to story, is going to be paragraph 1. All right, imagine to story is going to be paragraph 1. After, we'll start paragraph 2. If you are face-to-face, you should be numbering your paragraphs along with me. In should be paragraph 3. If you are at home and virtual, I expect you to be doing the same thing I'm doing as well. When is paragraph 4. In mid-November is going to be paragraph 5. All right, and that is all we have. Okay, so we have a total of 5 paragraphs in this informational text. Okay. Number 1 says, what were Lewis and Clark looking for 6 months after leaving St. Louis? All right. What were Lewis and Clark looking for after leaving St. Louis? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go back up through this text, and I want you to find what Lewis and Clark were looking for, and I want you to write the paragraph that you find the answer in by number 1. Okay, what was Lewis and Clark looking for? I will tell you this, your answer is going to be in paragraph 2. Your answer will be in paragraph 2. Now, can anyone tell me by raising your hand what you think the answer could possibly be? Aubrey? After she had been kidnapped, Sacagawea was sold to a French-Canadian named Charbonneau, who lived in the Hadasta village. She became his wife when she was only 15 years old. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition arrived at the village. Its purpose was to explore routes to the Pacific coast and report back to the United States government. Having set out from St. Louis 6 months earlier, its leaders decided that the Hadasta village would be a convenient place to spend the winter. Because they knew they would be passing through Shoshone territory, they hired Charbonneau. Now, I've read the answer. Who can tell me? Anybody? Lafiama. Huh? Do what? Routes? What about routes? No, what were they looking for? What were they looking for? It doesn't say 6 months after. It says 6 months before. Having set out from St. Louis, it's not gonna look. 6 months earlier, its leaders decided that the Hadasta village would be a convenient place to spend the winter. All right, so let's go back to our question. What were Lewis and Clark looking for 6 months after leaving St. Louis? So I have to restate my answer or my question in my answer. Good. That is very right, Trey. All right, Lewis and Clark were looking for a convenient place to stay for the winter six months after leaving St. Louis.
Six months after leaving St. Louis.
Trey? We're gonna finish this, and then when we finish that, I will let y'all go. Number 2, what is the meaning of inept as it is used in the passage? So, to find the answer to this, okay, you need to go back to the passage and you need to find the word inept. All right, it's in paragraph 2.
Yeah, I did.
All right, and
No, it's not. That says interpret. Yeah, that says interpret.
all right, it is in paragraph 3, okay? And it is right here. One day, Charbonneau's inept handling of the canoe overturned it, and some important records would have been lost. Now, inept, what does the word inept mean? Clumsy. All right, clumsy. The opposite of deft, he is not skilled at it, okay? The opposite of deft, he is not skilled. All right, inept means clumsy, okay? So, what can we infer? What can we infer about the meaning of inept as it is used in the passage?
The meaning of inept is clumsy.
The meaning of inept as used in the passage means that Charbonneau, I want to spell it correctly. Bonneau. E-A-U. The meaning of inept as used in the passage means that Charbonneau's Charbonneau was not skilled in canoeing. Okay, the meaning of inept as used in the passage means that Charbonneau was not skilled in canoeing. Now, do y'all see how I formulated my response to that question? It's very specific. I restated my question in my answer, and I gave you, or I told you exactly why inept means what it does in this paragraph. Okay? Number 3. How is it made clear that Sacagawea did not go willingly with the Hadassah? Okay. How was it made clear that she did not go willingly? They kidnapped her. What's another word for kidnapped?
Captive.
All right, captive. Good. So, what what paragraph does your answer come from?
1.
Paragraph 1. Okay, and it says this. Sacagawea was taken captive in 1799 during a skirmish with the Hadassah raiding party. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back down here. Number 3 comes from paragraph 1. I'm going to put a 1 beside it. And don't forget we needed to put what number beside number 2? All right. How is it made clear that Sacagawea did not go willingly with the Hadassah? Okay. In paragraph 1, the author tells the readers that Sacagawea did not go willingly with the Hadassah because what? Because what? Because I need somebody to help me finish my sentence. Because she was taken captive.
They call it kids now for kids. What they call it grown person when they kids up. What is that? I'm still
Number 4. Grant, go erase that on the board now. Just that Mr. Harris wrote yesterday. All right, what is the meaning of retrieve as it is used in the passage? What paragraph is the word retrieve in? What paragraph is the word retrieve in? What paragraph is the word retrieved in? Paragraph 3. Good. Now, it says, what is the meaning as retrieve as it is used in the passage? Okay, so let's go back right here. One day, Charbonneau's inept handling of the canoe overturned it, and some important records would have been lost had Sacagawea not retrieved them. Okay, so what did Sacagawea do? She got the records from what? If you're in a canoe, that means you're on a body of water. Okay, so Sacagawea saved the papers from being or getting what? Wet and lost. Okay? All right. So, according to the passage, retrieve means that Sacagawea saved the papers from being ruined by the water. I don't know. According to the passage, retrieve means that Sacagawea saved the papers from being ruined by the water.
Talia Lee, report back to the office for just a moment. Talia Lee.
All right, number 5. What does the author indicate might have been the most striking feature of the Pacific Ocean for Sacagawea? What does the author indicate might have been the most striking feature of the Pacific Ocean for Sacagawea? What is going to be like the most interesting or the most exciting? What vocabulary words should I be looking for?
ecstatic.
Ecstatic, okay? So let's go back up here and let's find ecstatic. All right, paragraph 4.
When they finally reached the Sunshine Country, Sacagawea had an ecstatic feeling.
Okay, this is not the word that we need to be looking for. All right, because that doesn't really talk about her being anything being excited about the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so let's keep looking. Expanse. All right, in mid-November, the expedition reached the West Coast. There, Sacagawea gazed for the first time at the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, okay, of which she had heard stories since childhood. So she's seeing the Pacific Ocean, the large Pacific Ocean, for the first time. Now, what paragraph was that?
5.
All right, so we're going to put a 5 out beside 5. All right, and the author indicates that seeing the expanse of the Pacific Ocean for the first time might have been the most striking feature of the Pacific Ocean for Sacagawea. Do what? Yes, I can. Zachary, are you writing this down? All of it? You need to check your answers. Number 6. What is the meaning of interpret as it is used in the passage? All right, paragraph 2. It says he spoke the Shoshone language and could interpret it for them. All right, who spoke the Shoshone language? No. Shobarno. All right. So he was able to understand what the Shoshones were saying. Okay, so Shoshone, I probably need to look that word up and see how to pronounce it. My words have disappeared. Oh, but we do. All right, this was found in paragraph what, 2? All right. According to the passage, interpret means that Charbonneau was able to translate and explain the Shoshone language. Now, do y'all understand how I am formulating my sentences, my answers? I'm restating the question in my answer, but I'm making sure that I am being very specific in what I'm saying. Okay, I'm making sure that I am being very specific in what I am saying. All right, number 7. For how long was Sacagawea with the expedition? For how long was Sacagawea with the expedition? What paragraph? 2? All right, it says, after she had been kidnapped, Sacagawea was sold to a French Canadian named Charbonneau, who lived in the Hidatsa village. She became his wife when she was only 15 years old. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition arrived at the village. Okay, so let's go back up. Sacagawea was taken captive in 1799. All right, and then in 1804. So we actually need to do a little bit of math here, do we not? All right. After she had been kidnapped, she was sold to a French Canadian named Charbonneau who lived in the Hadasta village. She became his wife when she was only 15 years old. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition arrived at the village. Its purpose was to explore routes to the Pacific coast and report back to the United States government. Okay? She was a part of the expedition for how long? How long was she a part of the expedition? Sacagawea was with the expedition for more than a year. The expedition began in 1799 and they arrived in 1804. So that is 3 years? 99, 1800, 01, 02, 03, 04. 6 years. Okay? All right. Why was Sacagawea able to supplement the party's medical supplies? What paragraph did number 7 come from? 2?
Yes.
Yeah, it did. Right there.
What's it called? 8 is a paragraph 3.
Okay, so let's Sacagawea, her baby strapped to her back, proved to be an invaluable member of the team. She collected roots and berries to supplement the food stocks. She was also able to add medical supplies, for she knew which plants had beneficial effect when someone fell ill. Okay, so our question says, why was Sacagawea able to supplement the party's medical supplies? Okay, Sacagawea was able to supplement the party's medical supplies because she knew what? She knew what did she use to make it though? She knew which plants and roots. I need help. She knew which plants and roots were. Okay, I'm gonna go back. But I want y'all to help tell me what it is. She was able to add to the medical supplies, for she knew which plants had a beneficial effect when someone fell ill. Okay? She knew which plants had a beneficial effect, when someone fell ill. Number 9. What did the Shoshan do when they encountered the Hadassah raiding party? Put this up. And you go back and you correct this. Do you understand? Do you understand me? All right, what did the Shoshan do when they encountered the Hadassah raiding party? Okay, so let's come up. I need y'all are gonna have to help. Okay, what did the Hadassah do when they found the Shoshan raiding party? Do what now? Sacagawea was taken captive in 1799 during a skirmish with a Hadassah raiding party. So what happened? The Shoshans had a what? All right. So when, first of all, what paragraph was that found in? Okay. When the Shoshans encountered the Hadassah raiding party, they had a what? Skirmish. All right, number 10. Why did Lewis and Clark believe that the presence of Sacagawea's baby might have a beneficial effect on the expedition? Why did Lewis and Clark believe that the presence of Sacagawea's baby might have a beneficial effect on the expedition? Okay, so we need to find something about Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea's baby and beneficial. Okay. Paragraph 3 does talk about it. Okay, in April of 1805, the party set out traveling in canoes up the Missouri River. Sacagawea, her baby strapped to her back, proved to be an invaluable member of the team. She collected roots, but it doesn't really tell us why the baby was beneficial there. Now, let's go up here. Okay, it says, having set out from St. Louis 6 months earlier, its leaders decided that the Hadassah village would be a convenient place to spend the winter. Because they knew they would be passing through Shoshan territory, they hired Charbonneau. He spoke the Shoshan language and could interpret for them. They decided that even though she had just had a baby, Sacagawea should also accompany them. Her presence with the baby would demonstrate to the Shoshan expedition's intentions were peaceful. So what purpose did the baby serve? A peaceful presence. All right, so number 10. Lewis and Clark believed that the presence of Sacagawea's baby might show, I'm going to shorten this and say show peacefulness. The presence of the baby might show peacefulness. Number 11. What is the meaning of territory as it is used in the passage? What is the meaning of territory as it is used in the passage? I'm going to go ahead and start writing my answer even before I start. According to the passage, territory means. Okay? So now, on number 10, though, real quick, I need to write down what paragraph my answer came from. Does anyone know? Okay, paragraph 2. All right, so we're looking for territory now. What paragraph is the word territory in? It's also in 2?
Mm-hmm. It says show territory they hired Harvey being spoken.
All right.
Because they knew that they would be.
If you knew that you were passing through Ashford territory or through Ashford territory would be what? Like the city of Ashford. Okay, so they were passing through territory means where the Shoshans lived. And I'm going to put in parentheses like home place or town, city. Okay, does that help y'all? Why was Sacagawea ecstatic when she met the Shoshan chief?
Because she never thought that she would ever be here.
All right, so that is going to come from what paragraph?
4.
When they finally reached Shoshan country, Sacagawea had an ecstatic reunion with her brother, who was now a Shoshan chief. Okay, so Sacagawea was ecstatic because I gotta go back and fix that. Shoshan chief was her brother. Number 13, how do you think Lewis and Clark felt about Sacagawea? How do you think Lewis and Clark felt about Sacagawea? What did she prove to be? All right. What paragraph? I got to go back and write what paragraph my answers come from. What paragraph was territory?
2.
All right. What paragraph is ecstatic?
4.
And invaluable member is what paragraph?
3.
Okay. Lewis and Clark could not pay the amount of money because she was invaluable. Like, there was no amount of money for what she was worth. Okay, she was worth more than money. Lewis and Clark felt that Sacagawea was an invaluable member of the team. Number 14. According to the passage, accompany means to what?
Oh, like, this one covered this one.
To go along with? According to the passage, accompany means to go along with. All right, we're going to do this last one. Do you think Sacagawea was eager to leave her brother?
No.
All right. What's the opposite of eager to leave? Sacagawea wanted to spend more time with her brother, or she wanted to what? To what? Huh? Not leave. What? Linger. Good. Okay. She wanted to spend more time with her brother, or she wanted to linger. Now, if you are virtual, you need to turn it in. Save now. Those of you that are face-to-face, or actually all of you, need to go home and study your word list. You will have a test tomorrow on all of these 15 words. Study for your test tomorrow. You may not be able to use your quad cards on your test. I need you to be prepared to not use them. You may pack your belongings and you may go to your next class.
So about that project we're doing, do we also gotta get another board like this?
Do what now?
I know, like in the project we're doing, like the old yellow one, we gotta get another board like that.
No.